Listen to this.
He's accusing you of being the leak to Candace Owens. That's what he's doing. Because obviously, somebody within the organization is leaking information to Candace Owens. He's blaming you.
Like that. I thought that was kind of disgusting. But they justify it as that's what Charlie would want. Like, that's how they justified the work ethic and just continuing to push through, getting coalition signups, getting voter registration. We had volunteers.
They had you guys registering voters at Charlie's Memorial?
Yes.
They had you guys registering voters at Charlie's Memorial?
Yes.
What? They were registering voters at Charlie Kirk's memorial. So remember when they had this crazy WWE looking memorial situation where they had 277,000 people that they were geofencing.
What if I told you that at Charlie Kirk's memorial, every single person there might have had their phone geofenced, meaning their phone was tracked? On September 18th, 3 days before the memorial, official government filings showed that the country we're not supposed to talk about wired money to a company called Show Faith by Works. That same filing says the company signed a $4 million contract with that country we're not supposed to talk about, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to run what they call a Christian church geofencing campaign. Here's what that means. Invisible GPS fences are drawn around churches and Christian colleges in states like Arizona, California, Nevada, Colorado. So basically, when your phone enters those zones, it can be tagged and then later hit with targeted ads or messages. Tens of thousands of Christians filled a stadium in Arizona for the Charlie Kirk Memorial, right? The first payment of roughly, $326,000 had already been made to launch the geofencing project. That's a fact. The filings talk about reaching believers with the country we're not supposed to name, influencers, emailing pastors, contacting people. So you got to ask yourself, when faith gatherings draw huge crowds, who's building the geofences around there? Who's collecting the data? And what are they doing with it? Because in 2025, your faith and your phone might both be on record.
And selling t-shirts. And now we also know that they were registering voters. They didn't give a damn. And that's sad. Make sure to share this with everybody. Share this in all your group chats because this is brand new information. So make sure to follow Diligent Denizen on X.
That's wild.
Yeah, I thought that was disgusting. And I just remember thinking, I just kept getting more and more discouraged and I was exhausted.
At this point, who is kind of like taking the front-facing position as far as leadership at TPUSA or Turning Point Action, right? Like, it remained Tyler Boyer, I imagine, for Turning Point Action, who you work for, but who's really visible now? Is it Erica? Is it Andrew Colvett? Is it Tyler Boyer? Who's like perceived as in charge, according to from your experience as a worker, or maybe like the chatter you had heard working for the organization?
Honestly, Erica, like Andrew Kovacs, he's pretty much like by her side, but no, she transitioned very fast I think it was 8 days she was appointed CEO after he passed away, and yeah, she became the face really quick.
How so?
Charlie was all for First Amendment rights, and he welcomed opposition. Well, that's no longer the case there. They do not welcome opposition. They do not welcome other views. Literally, if you don't go with the current narrative, you are referred to as mentally ill. But when this all really started was October 1st. So on October 1st, I made a post on X, and it had nothing to do with Turning Point. We were encouraged by leadership. We don't just want to see posts about what you do with the organization. We want to hear your opinions too. But that was before Charlie's death. And I made a post about that Ukrainian refugee, the girl that got stabbed on the subway, because I was really upset about it. And I happened to tag the wrong individual in that post. And this individual, I'm going to just refer to them as a third party. The organization didn't really have an issue with this person until Charlie passed away, because this person started posting their opinion of Turning Point after Charlie's death, and they were entertaining other theories and reposting Candace Owens and stuff like that. I was introduced to this individual. That's what you do, is you network and you work with other people in politics. And the organization introduced me to this individual, and they worked for us at one point. And I was introduced to him to do a project together, and then we became political acquaintances. Well, I get a phone call maybe 30 minutes after I made that post, maybe even less than 30 minutes.
This is, you said October 1st?
Yes, this happened. So yeah, he was assassinated September 10th, and this was October 1st.
So 3 weeks later.
3 weeks later.
So you make a post and you tag this individual that you met through Turning Point Action.
This just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions. Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
I have new mother-daughter card games. I sold out around Christmas time. I have so many people asking me, when am I going to have more card games in? They will be in around the 5th. So probably another 10, 15 days. So make sure to get your card games now. The link is in the chat. I have a limited amount. I only ordered 1,000 and they will go fast. So make sure to get your mother-daughter card games before they sell out again. So make sure to get your mother-daughter card game if you have daughters, or if you're a woman that has a mother that and y'all don't necessarily get along the best.
Hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, so what's the deal with this individual? Like, what's your relationship with him? And I was like, I mean, he's in other Republican organizations. He worked for us. And he's like, but why did you tag him in a post? I said, I tag all kinds of people in posts. You all want us to boost our followers and stuff. So I just tag people, you know, to kind of get stuff out there. And he's just like, are you friends with this person? He's like, he was getting angrier. And he's like, I'm just trying to figure out why you tag this person, what you know about them. And he's like, because this person is saying bad things on social media about Turning Point and reposting Candace Owens stuff. And I was like, well, I mean, I know he has a different opinion, but I thought that we welcomed opposition. I was like, that's what Charlie spoke about. That's the whole point, is he invited people, you know, with different opinions to come talk about it. And he got mad and he was like, not when it's destroying Charlie's legacy. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, I can delete him off social media. He's like, I think that would be a good idea. And I said, I mean, it's not worth it. I mean, it's not like we're best friends, you know, we're just political acquaintances and professional, just had a professional relationship. And so I proceeded to delete him off all my social media and stop following him. And he told me he was going to have to take disciplinary action. He was like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to have to write you up for this.
The content that you tagged him in, was it something against Turning Point? Was it about Candace Owens?
No, it was about the Ukrainian refugee that was stabbed.
So it had nothing to do with Turning Point, had nothing to do with Candace Owens or the official narrative at all.
No, it's just because I tagged that individual.
Thank you for the super chat, super chat, super chat. Thank you for the cash app. Cash app, cash app, cash app. Thank you for the cash app.
Shout out to As Life. I'm assuming that's Arizona Life. Let me know if I'm wrong. Shout out to As Life K21. Love you, Mr. Let Go. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much for your support. Turning Point USA, or Erica, did not grieve Charlie Kirk's death because they grieved Charlie Kirk's death when they were planning on killing him. That's the reason why Erica Kirk is just walking around with all smiles and stuff, because she was grieving probably a month before Charlie Kirk died, because she knew, in my opinion, that he was going to die. So while Charlie Kirk was walking around dancing and having fun and working and stuff and taking care of his kids and playing with his kids, she was probably over there like this. And he's like, hey, what's wrong? Nothing. No, you okay? I'm okay. Nothing. I'm okay. Okay. So she was probably grieving his death a month before he died. So once he died, she grieved already. Turning Point USA grieved already. So they didn't need time to grieve, because they grieved before he died. Because once they realized that, damn, we about to take out Charlie Kirk, it was a grieving process then. But now she's happy he's gone. She's getting all of the attention.
To, you know, take this opportunity to register voters and get signups for the coalitions. And I didn't really like that. I thought that was kind of...
And I want you to think about this. The second Charlie Kirk died, she had to focus on registering voters. So Charlie Kirk's memorial was a voter registration rally.
Had you guys registering voters at Charlie's memorial?
Yes.
What?
So make sure to follow Diligent Denizen on X. Diligent Denizen on X. Make sure to follow him. He does excellent work.
All right, go ahead and continue with your experience. What happened? You said they called you, Kelvia, come here, and then what happened?
Yeah, so they pulled me out of training. I was in training with the rest of my team, and, you know, they're like, Kelvia Campbell, we need to talk to you, you know, gather up your stuff and come with us. And then they took me to a conference room. They put me in a conference room, shut the door, a conference room I'm very familiar with, and they shut the door, and I said, who are you? I've never seen you before. And of course he got offended. I later on found out it was Frank Carney. If you look him up, it's some sort of title, and it says that he like oversees legal functions of Turning Point. And
so you didn't know that at the time?
No, because I asked who he was, and he got offended that I didn't know who he was. And he's like, I'm on staff here, and he's like, I'm blah, blah, blah with the legal team. And I was like, okay. And then there was a woman with a laptop, and she wouldn't say a word. I think she was just typing, notes, or if I said something, taking notes. So she didn't say a word. She had a laptop. Frank had a pad of paper and a pen. And he took my phone, and he made me put my phone in a drawer because he didn't want me to have my phone on me.
So they call you out of the class. Where do they walk you through, like an office?
Yeah, they walked me through headquarters, like from one side of the building to the other where this conference room was.
And so they take you to this conference room, and he takes your phone?
Yeah, he takes my phone, and he puts it in a drawer, and I said, why? He said, just because. So they didn't want my phone on me. I'm sure they were recording me, but they didn't
want you recording the conversation. That's super revealing. How did that make you feel? Like, at this point, how are you feeling? Are you like, what the hell's going on? Did you understand? Were you expecting it? Like, how did this all make you feel?
I mean, obviously my stomach, like, I had a feeling because, they kept harassing me about this third party individual that was posting stuff. And I had a feeling this is what it had to do, and they like to catch people off guard and, like I said, scare them and interrogate them and stuff. So I had about like 45 seconds walking from one end of the building to the other to kind of like mentally prepare myself for this,
I just want to say this. There's no way in hell my supervisor is going to take my phone from me. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell my supervisor is going to say, give me your phone. I'm going to say, kiss my ass. There's no way in hell you're going to turn around and say, give me your phone. No. What the hell are you talking about? Well, you're fired. Well, I don't care. Kiss my ass. I'm not going to no damn office and you're going to take my damn phone. Who the hell are you?
My phone, and he put it in a drawer, and then he was basically like, we know.
The whole Law and Order thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Law and Order.
They were recording me, but they didn't
want you recording the conversation. That's super revealing. How did that make you feel? Like, at this point, how are you feeling? Are you like, what the hell's going on? Did you understand? Were you expecting it? Like, how did this all make you feel?
I mean, obviously my stomach, like, I had a feeling because, they kept harassing me about this third party individual that was posting stuff. And I had a feeling this is what it had to do, and they like to catch people off guard and, like I said, scare them and interrogate them and stuff. So I had about like 45 seconds walking from one end of the building to the other to kind of like mentally prepare myself for this, I was kind of like, all right, I'll play your game.
And so he's like trying to intimidate you. And is he asking you questions? Is he making accusations? What is he saying?
Yes. He's just like, we know that you talked to Candace's producer. We know. And I'm just like, he's like, let me ask you a question.
What if she did talk to Candace's producer? That's none of your damn business. I could do what the hell I want to do off work. I could talk to anybody. So as you can see right here, they are trying to find the mole in Turning Point USA, and they're running around firing everybody.
Have you talked to a journalist, a reporter, or a producer about Turning Point? And I was like, I don't talk to reporters or I don't talk to reporters or media or press or anything. I said, we're not allowed to. He's like, what about producers? And I was like, no. Like, I don't know. He's like, well, we have your text messages. It's all over the internet right now. You know that? It's all over the internet what you did. And I'm like, what? And he's like, the disgusting things that you said. He basically called me disgusting. He's like, the disgusting things that you said about Erica and the pictures you sent. And he's like, yeah, we know all about it.
So this is a good conversation right here. Hold on. No, you can't talk to anyone you want off duty. You have to sign an NDA if you even work there. I don't think she signed an NDA though, because she wouldn't be on this space with Diligent if she signed an NDA. Not one time does she bring up NDA. But one, wouldn't they be talking about the NDA in this conversation? And two, why would they be on Spaces if she signed an NDA?
So he blames you for sharing information. So he's accusing you of being the leak to Candace Owens. That's what he's doing. Because obviously, somebody within the organization is leaking information to Candace Owens. He's blaming you. And up to this point, it was not true, correct?
Right. And, he told me he had no evidence to present.
Did you ask him for proof? Did you ask him why what was your reaction? How did you answer? You said no, and then what?
Yeah, he was just like, you sure about that? He's like, any statements you want to make? He's like, because this is your last chance. He threatened me. He was like, this is your last chance to make a statement. And I was like, am I under oath? What the heck? And he's like, he kept saying, this is your last chance. And he was accusing me of some pretty deep stuff, And I finally told him, I was like, I'm not making any statements without legal representation. And he kept pressing me even after that. Like, you're not supposed to push people after that point. Which, by the way, I fact checked this. He's not even licensed to practice in the state of Arizona.
So You say you're not going to answer anything without an attorney because it gets to that point.
Yeah,
They made allegations against you for leaking to Candace Owens. You have denied it. They don't provide any evidence of, but they still continue to accuse and allege that you are leaking to Candace Owens. You finally say, I'm not saying anything else without an attorney. What happens then?
He keeps pressing me for information, and he's like, you don't have a guilty conscience, and he claims there were these text messages on social media, and he claims that he knew without a shadow of doubt they were mine. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I was just dumbfounded. I was like, and he was like, yeah, we know. He's like, you know that little picture of you, my profile picture on X? He's like, yeah, we saw that little picture of you and Charlie in a field somewhere. And I was like, why would my X profile picture be on my text messages? You could tell that, like, he'd gotten this information.
They were grasping at straws?
Oh, they were trying to incriminate me hardcore. He was yelling. He was red in the face. He had spit coming out of his mouth. And
it sounds like they didn't really know, but they were just trying to flush it out. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like they would have shown you. Did they show you anything at all?
No, nothing. That's what I was waiting for. I'm like, okay, where's this juicy tea?
Okay, what does an NDA have to do with who you choose to talk to? You can talk to anyone you want, even with an NDA. Well, there's certain rules in the NDA that says you can't talk to someone about A, B, and C. So there's verbiage in the NDA that would tell you what you can and cannot do. And you sign it, it's a written agreement. So to a certain degree, whatever it is you sign, unless it's illegal, you're bound to the thing that you agreed to.
They had nothing to show me, and you could just tell it was secondhand. Like, someone had relayed this information to him, said that they saw this on social media or something, and he didn't know what he was talking about. And I knew when he pointed out my ex profile picture on my text messages, I knew at that point I was like, oh, yeah, I'm done. You all are lying about this because that's not the picture on my text messages,
Yeah, who does that? Come on, who does that? So did he fire you there? Did they send you home? What happened after that?
Yeah, so I told him about 5 times that I wasn't going to make any statements unless I had legal representation. So he finally gave up, and he said, you have to leave the building. And he's like, do you have any property or anything of Turning Points that you need to return? I said, yes. He's like, well, get it returned to them, but you're going to have to leave the building, and we're going to escort you out. And I said, okay. So I went back to the training room in front of everybody again, and they escorted him and that woman escorted me to the training room. I gathered the rest of my stuff, and I just walked out, and they didn't tell me anything. I was like, am I terminated? Like, they didn't tell me anything. They just walked me to the door frame, and then I walked the rest of the way to my car in the parking lot. And I went home, and about an hour later, I get a termination confirmation email, and it says I was terminated, but it won't say why. USA happened afterward, and by the way,
and they don't have to say why because they're in Arizona.
My director told my coworkers that they are not permitted to talk to me, do not reach out to me, do not talk to me, social media, and he said, if Kelvia reaches out to you, let me know, report it to me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. The level of surveillance, right, over who you tag in your social media posts, your interactions, who can or can't talk to you. You're not media, right? These are people that you worked with for over a year. I had to guess. I think they would probably trying to set an example for other people in the organization, right? That's why you would publicly do something like that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I'm going to be honest with you, though. A part of me is relieved. Like, I felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders once I was let go.
So that is the audio. And like I said, make sure to follow this guy right here, Diligent Denizen on X. I'm not sure if he has a YouTube channel. He may, but this guy is really dope. He does good work.
You guys registering voters at Charlie's Memorial?
Yes.
What?
That part right there was nuts. They were registering people to vote at his funeral. Damn. Y'all.
This just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions. Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from? This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit.
As we all know, Candace Owens is in a lot of suggestion. We can't keep spinning conspiracy theories without evidence. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt.
Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? If you got something to say, tell it to her face. If you got something to say, tell it to her face. All of this is fake and gay, and you know it. I got all the evidence. I'm about to show it. You projecting all your guilt out on us and Candace. We just trying to solve the case, I don't understand it. Things not turning out how you planned it. We can see it in your eyes and your body language. I see all the threats that you keep sending me, but underneath the jail is where you finna be. Your band of crooked pastors in the pulpit. Every time you speak, all I hear is bullshit. Tell the truth about Charlie Kirk instead of telling me to stop. All I wanna know is which guy took the shot. I need an answer to a question only you would know. Is Charlie Kirk's life a reenactment of the Truman Show? Truman Show, Truman Show. 100,000 of us on your head tie. Please stop trying to feed us all this fed slide. Your grieving widow book tour, we ain't listening to it. And free Tyler Robinson, cause you know he didn't do it. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace.